The Rule of 72, in Albert Einstein's opinion, was a more significant finding than his theory of relativity. This rule was initially mentioned by Luca Pacioli, who is known as the father of accounting. He discusses the significance of this rule in his 1494 book, Summary of Arithmetic, Geometry, Proportions and Proportionality. Everybody's desire is to be able to double their money in a short period of time. How many times have you wished on a shooting star to have 6 figures in your bank account when you wake up the next morning? I am here to assure you that it is achievable. It is not just a fantasy. I will be discussing the Rule of 72 in today's Future with Finance video. So, pay attention till the very end of the video and be prepared to learn. Number 1. Master the Rule of 72. The Rule of 72 is used to help you with debt, as well as when defining financial goals, analyzing economic trends, planning for financial goals, evaluating investments, also helping you with debt. Calculating how long it will take for an investment to double while getting a fixed interest rate is how it operates. Here's how to figure it out. Take 72 and divide it by the expected rate of return. For instance, divide 72 by 5 if you expect receiving an interest rate of 5%. The result is 14.4. You will need to work for this many years to double your money. This rule has a lot of benefits. For instance, you can easily and rapidly assess whether you are keeping up with the current scenario and trends. Additionally, you can make sure that your financial decisions are being made in the appropriate way, because it indicates how many years it will take for the value of the initial sum to decrease by half rather than double. It can also be used to calculate inflations. Having stated that, there are certain drawbacks to applying this rule. For instance, it can only be used with assets that calculate compound interest once a year. Due to its inability to calculate rates below and beyond 6% and 10% respectively, this rule also has some accuracy issues. Nevertheless, resist the temptation to let these drawbacks push you away from the Rule of 72. Contact a financial expert who can help you by properly explaining this rule and directing you in the right direction. Number 2. Power of compound interest. Compound interest is required in order for the Rule of 72 to produce accurate results, as was previously mentioned. When you grasp both the rule and the force of compound interest, you will have discovered the key ingredient to achieving rapid financial success. After we have covered the Rule of 72 in and of itself, let us move on to the topic of compound interest. The wonderful thing about this is that the longer your money is invested, the bigger your earnings will be. This can be true for a very long time. In other words, the interest that you earn on your first investments is added onto your initial investment. And this cycle continues as long as you maintain your initial investment. Simply put, you should put your money into it, and then you should forget about it. Applying the Rule of 72 will tell you how long it will take for your existing savings to become twice as large as they are right now. Divide your interest rate, which is currently 6%, by 72 to get the annual percentage yield. 72 divided by 6 yields 12, which is the amount of time it will take for you to see a doubling of your initial investment. When it comes to compound interest, you should look for an option with a higher interest rate. This is because the faster you reach your goal of doubling your initial investment, the greater the interest rate should be. Get in touch with a financial advisor. Make sure you're getting the best possible compound interest, and apply the Rule of 72 to determine how quickly your savings balance can grow. Number 3. Investments. Using the Rule of 72, you can evaluate your investment performance. We all wish to invest at some time in our lives, and you can utilize this guideline to gain valuable knowledge about how long it will take for your money to double. As a result, if you are thinking about investing, the Rule of 72 might help you estimate when you might get a 100% return on your investment. As long as you consider the concept of compound interest, the Rule of 72 will work in your favor, regardless of the type of investment you make. Let us consider the following examples to better grasp this rule. Investment number 1, 1% annual return on a savings account. Investment number 2, 5% annual return on government bonds. Investment number 3, mutual funds with an 8% yearly return. Investment number 4, 12% yearly return stocks. Now, estimate how long it will take for you to get a return on your investment using the rule of 72. Put your responses in the comments and describe any patterns you noticed. Do me a huge favor and give this video a like if you're liking it thus far. Number 4, rate of inflation. Inflation is a topic that might be discussed in the media right now, but what does it mean in practice? The rate at which prices generally rise over a certain period of time is known as the inflation rate. The price of consumer items and services, for instance, can be influenced by inflation. It is more expensive than it was a year ago to buy what you could have bought at the same time. Using the rule of 72, we can estimate how long it will be before we succeed in outpacing inflation. With some simple math, we can see that after 24 years, the price will have doubled if inflation is consistently estimated to be 3% per year. Yet, if prices increases continue at current 6.8 annual rate, then 72 divided by 6.8 equals 10.6. This means that in just a decade, prices will increase by a factor of 10 or more. Using this method, you can prepare for the future so that your purchasing power is not diminished by inflation. Number 5, saving strategy. This rule has a lot of benefits, particularly when it comes to your savings, as it can assist you to forecast when your investments will end up doubling in value. This is just one of the many advantages this rule offers. Where's the very first location that comes to mind when you think about putting away money for the future? Is it keeping your savings at home? To put it simply, this is a terrible idea because it is so easy to lose. Is it traded on a stock exchange? However, while there is a greater possibility that your money will increase through this, there is also a greater possibility that you could lose it. It could be as simple as opening a savings account at your neighborhood bank. There is a possibility that you will receive an interest rate of 1% on your savings account if you are fortunate. To tell you the truth, this is typically the fruit that hangs the lowest from the tree. It is a good idea to set a goal to save money, but it is also a good idea to create a budget to help you save money. You should, however, be aware of the amount of time it will take until your investment grows by a factor of 2. Now that we have established the rule, let us examine some examples of it in action. The amount of time needed for the investment to double is equal to 72 multiplied by the rate of return. Take for instance that you have $1,000 that you intend to put away in the bank. Let us also assume that the annual interest rate on your investment will be 1%. Therefore, 72 years is equal to 1% of 72. This indicates that if you invest $1,000 today, you may anticipate having $2,000 in another 72 years. However, I am very sure that you will not be alive in 72 years to make a profit of $1,000. There is a variety of investment opportunities available on the market that can provide a minimum interest rate of between 4% and 7% per annum. You simply need to do some research and consult with a financial advisor. Then, they will show you a far better paths that you may pursue moving forward. Let us continue using the same example that we used before. You are still in possession of the $1,000. However, you have decided to invest it in a savings program, such as an index that offers a minimum annual interest rate of 5%. Therefore, 14.5 years is equal to 72 divided by 5. Therefore, rather than having to wait for 72 years, it will only take you 15 years to double your investment, regardless of the amount that you first put in. And there is no risk. 5% is just an example. It is possible that realistic rates will be higher. The rule of 72 is an extremely useful mathematical calculation that may be applied in a variety of contexts to determine a variety of characteristics. This could entail determining how long you will have to wait for your savings to grow or how much money you will need to make in order to remain financially competitive with the rates of inflation. The one fundamental lesson we take away from using this rule is the importance of patience. Do not put off implementing the changes necessary to achieve financial freedom any longer than necessary. I truly believe that this video will teach you a lot. Please share your thoughts for implementing this principle in the comment section below. And with that being said, have a great day and see you all in the next video.